Hello, Dr. Coker here, and this is a guide to the Grand Cosmos from Final Fantasy XIV. We're just here to find help getting the Scions back to the source.
Please like and subscribe. I'm releasing guides for every story dungeon and trial in the game, so you always know what's coming.
Let's get started. The first boss here is Seeker of Solitude. He opens with a tank buster called Shadowbolt. Just use mitigation and healing as needed. Immortal Anathema deals unavoidable damage to all players. Just heal through it. With Tribulation, you will see 5 circular AoE markers, so stay away from them. They will be struck with black dirt, which will remain for a while. Dark Shock puts large AoE circles on 2 players. Just step aside from them to avoid taking damage. Around this time, you will see brooms make their way across the floor to sweep up the dirt. You'll want to stay out of their paths, because they will do a heavy knockback and inflict you with vulnerability up. They will stop for a time at each dirt pile to clean it up, but this will make the effective damage area of the dirt pile much larger, so you want to continue to stay away from them. Dark Pulse is a simple stack marker. Just stack up to diffuse the damage. Dark Well puts spread apart markers on all players. Just spread apart to avoid overlapping damage. That's all he does, but this boss can be a bit challenging because there aren't many safe places to be once the brooms start sweeping, especially when this is combined with other AoE effects. Just keep an eye on the brooms and position yourself safely in advance. The second boss is Leannan Sith. She opens with a tank buster called Storm of Color. Just use mitigation and healing as needed. With Ode to Lost Love, she will deal moderate, unavoidable damage to all players. Just heal through it. With direct seeding, grass patches will appear on the floor and seeds will land randomly on 4 of them. Then she'll immediately cast Gardener's Hymn, which takes a few seconds. During this time, players should try to pick up seeds and get them off the grass patches. Once the hymn finishes, the seeds left on the stone will die, but the seeds left on grass will spawn adds. These adds will need to be killed quickly because if left alive too long, they will explode, dealing heavy damage to everyone and applying debuffs. Ode to Far Winds puts large AoE markers all over the place while putting spread apart markers on all players. Everyone just needs to find safe spots apart from everyone else. This is followed by Ode to Fallen Petals, which causes the entire floor to be unsafe except for the boss's hitbox. Everyone just needs to run to the boss to avoid the hit. Late in the fight, she will drop the seeds and sing her hymn again, but this time there will be a wind coming, indicated by a bunch of arrows. This wind will push every player and seed by 1 patch length when it hits. Try to place the seeds where they will land on stone once the wind blows to avoid these extra adds. Again, remember to take out the adds that do make it, because they will explode after a while. The third boss is Insatiable Flame, Lugus. He has a cast called Scorching Right, where he will lift his weapon on his right side. Just move to his left side to avoid getting hit. He can also do Scorching Left, which is the same thing on his left side. With otherworldly heat, red markers will appear on all players, and you should make sure you aren't too close to any of the random objects sitting in the room. After a few seconds, each player will be struck for light damage, but then flaming cracks and a cross pattern will appear under every player. Get away from these cracks quickly because they will explode and deal heavy damage, and the area of effect is much bigger than the size of the cracks. If these flames hit the random objects, they will burst into flames, which is bad because you'll need them later. Captive Bolt is a simple tank buster. Use mitigation and healing as needed. With Mortal Flame, each player will have a blue marker over their head. You will quickly get a debuff that will kill you after a few seconds. To remove it, each player must find a random object to stand next to and the fire will transfer to it. Fire's Domain will put blades over every player, numbering 1, 2, 3, and 4. Everyone should scatter as far apart as possible. The boss will then tether and leap to each player in their marked order, and he deals less damage the further you are away. This is why you don't want to be near anyone else. His charge is followed by an attack that will destroy flammable objects as well, so if you can, avoid standing by any of them. Coaling Blade will deal moderate damage to all players, but also sometimes it drops new flammable objects in the room for later use. And that's it for the Grand Cosmos. I hope you found this helpful. Good luck, and see you next time.